We always think a story is all about the beginning or maybe the big twist in the middle. But what if the most important part is actually the end, the impact, that final piece that changes everything you thought you knew? So today, we're going to go looking for the hidden stories that only show themselves in the final chapter. Okay, to really get what I'm talking about, let's just look at a few simple things. First up, an arrow. Seems pretty obvious, right? It just points the way. But as we're about to see, there's often a much, much deeper story going on. Okay, how about this one? A broken mirror. Your mind probably jumps straight to bad luck, right? But is that really all there is to it? Is that the whole story? And last one, a word just fading away into nothing. See, on the surface, each one of these tells a story. But the real story, the one that truly matters, is hiding in its final chapter. So, what is the most important part of a story? I'll tell you one thing. It's almost never the beginning. In this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain to find those secret final chapters that are hiding in plain sight in things we see every single day. All right, let's kick things off with intentional design. We're talking about messages that have a hidden final chapter, a whole other layer of meaning you actually have to find for yourself. I bet you've seen these logos 1,000 times. But have you ever really seen them? I mean, did you ever spot the arrow hidden in the FedEx logo, hinting at speed? Or the bear hiding in the Toblerone mountain, which is a nod to its hometown? The magic here is totally psychological. Remember that aha moment when you first saw it? That little feeling of discovery? That creates a powerful connection. That's the hidden final chapter. And this idea of intentional hidden messages, well, it scales up from clever logos to things with some serious power. Think about a map. A map is never just a neutral picture of the world. It's an argument. What's put in the center, what's drawn bigger or smaller, that's a hidden final chapter. It's a silent proposal for who holds the power and how you should see the world. Okay, so we've got the intentional stuff. But what about the hidden messages we create ourselves, without even knowing we're doing it? Let's dive into the invisible forces that write the final chapters of our own behaviors. Let's talk about superstitions. Our brains are basically pattern-finding machines. They're hardwired for it. So if you walk under a ladder, and then later that day you fail a test, your brain might just write a story, a final chapter, linking those two random things. It's what they call a causal illusion. We latch on to the one time the pattern seems real, and we totally ignore the hundreds of times it doesn't. And that's the invisible force keeping these beliefs alive. You see this exact same kind of mental shortcut with our modern tech myths. We all kind of believe the story that private browsing makes us invisible online. But the real final chapter, the truth, it only hides your history on your own device. Your internet provider, your boss, the websites you visit, yeah, they can still see exactly where you've been. And this brings us to our weird fascination with true crime. Some people call it the dark mirror effect. We're not just consuming scary stories. We're essentially running a psychological safety drill. By exploring all that darkness from a safe distance, we make a chaotic, unpredictable world feel just a little more manageable. That right there is the unconscious final chapter for why we just can't look away. All right, so we've looked at messages that are designed and ones our own minds cook up. But what happens when history itself gets a brand new final chapter, one that completely flips the original script? Just think about tattoos for a second. They started out as medicinal marks more than 5,000 years ago. Then, over time, they became brands for criminals, then logbooks for sailors, then symbols of rebellion. And today's final chapter? Tattoos are a totally mainstream way we express our personal identity. The meaning has been completely rewritten. And it's not just on our skin. You see the same kind of evolution on the walls of our cities. What was once just dismissed as a sign of decay, graffiti, has been totally transformed. Now, street art is celebrated as important social commentary, even a tool for urban renewal. Its final chapter was rewritten from crime to culture. And this gets to a really fascinating point. Sometimes the new meaning, the new chapter, becomes so powerful it makes the original story almost relevant. I mean, think about Banksy. We're obsessed with who the artist is. But the big paradox here is that it doesn't matter who the person is anymore. Banksy as an idea, as this global symbol, is way bigger than any one individual could ever be. That symbol is the final chapter. But what happens when a story's final chapter isn't rewritten, but is just erased? What happens when it's lost completely? I mean, this is the staggering reality for nearly half of the world's 7,000 languages. Right now, a language dies approximately every 2 weeks. Just let that sink in. An entire story, a whole way of seeing the world, having its final chapter silenced forever. And look, when a language just vanishes, it is so much more than just words. It's a unique worldview. It's generations of knowledge about plants and medicine. It's oral histories, mythologies, entire ways of thinking about time itself. It is, quite literally, like the entire library of a culture just burning to the ground. We don't just lose a story, we lose one of the final chapters of what it means to be human. So, you see, from a logo on a shipping box to the very words we speak, we've seen that the real story is so often hiding in that final, deeper meaning. So, we've learned the final chapter can be that psychological eureka moment, that little jolt of discovery that gives a simple symbol all its power. We've also seen how it can be this unconscious driver, a hidden pattern our brain creates just to make sense of the world, keeping these ancient beliefs alive. And finally, we've discovered it can be a modern legacy, a new meaning so powerful it completely rewrites the story that came before it. So here's the big takeaway. Always look past the surface. Don't just see the thing that's right in front of you. Ask yourself, what's its final chapter? What's its impact? What's the hidden meaning? What's the real story that's hiding at the very end? Because now you know how to look for it. Thanks for watching.